crafters, welcome into Guys Craft 2 and happy Memorial Day. I hope your day has started well. Hope you are having some fun and that things are going your way. It's a little early still here. It's only 7 a.m. for me, so I am still trying to get the second or third cup of coffee down and trying to get started. But we are going to have some fun today. I think there is lots to do and probably some good conversations and chat that we can have to figure out what's going on. You know, the best thing about today, I didn't have to go to work. And I will tell you, I'm very fortunate to have the job I have. I got downsized a few years ago, and as such, really wondered what was going to happen, and ended up pretty blessed to get the position that I have and all that. So we'll never be ungrateful for that. But at the same time, really do enjoy having my days off, right? They call it work for a reason. As my daughter reminded me not too long ago, she's over adulting. She doesn't want to adult anymore. And I said, well, you should have thought about that before you married a man that had three previous children and then added two more to it, right? So, you know what, girlfriend, you are adulting at this point. So let's see who's in the chat this morning. Oh my goodness, quite a few. Um, Charlotte was the first one to join the chat this morning. Hey, Charlotte, welcome in. Thanks for being here today. Judy is here. Good morning, Miss Judy. Brian's in. Hey, Brian, welcome in. Katrina, good morning. Balloonist from Tucson. Happy Memorial Day. Jean is here. Good morning. Oh, there's Miss Joydy. It's going to be it's going to be a fun time because Miss Joydy always just brings a little sparkle and shine whenever she shows up. So we'll have a good 3 hours today. Candace is here. Hey, good morning, Candace. Welcome in. Who else? Goodness gracious. Danielle's here. Hey, Danielle. Good morning. Welcome in. Danielle said she may jump on later. So I sent her a link. And so she may join us at some point. I'm not sure what projects and that she's working on. Who else? Let's see. Mama Jan's here. Good morning, Mama Jan. We got a couple of pictures from her that we're going to share this morning. And let's see. I think I'm up. Katrina says, I'm over adulting too. Retirement is great. Amen, sister. I've got 8 more years. I am counting the days. I may end up retiring as a pauper because Lord only knows my 401k looks like a disaster. My pension's not going to be that huge, and who knows if Social Security is going to be here. But I can assure you, I will get it all figured out. And the one thing, it's so funny. So the local quilt shop's like, but when you finally retire in that, we'd love to have you work here and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm sure you would because I'd end up owing you each week. So like, yeah, no, I don't need to come in where I'm going to end up working and then still being in debt. Lord have mercy. Candace says, I agree with your daughter. Adulting stinks, bills, cooking, cleaning, and work. It is exhausting. It is. Runs with scissors. Melissa's here. Hey, good morning, Miss Melissa. Jen's here. Good morning. All right, I think I'm getting caught up. Jeannie's here. Good morning. Welcome in. All right, I think I'm caught up with chat. It has been so crazy. I have yet to unbox my project to work on, but we will get that done soon. And I will start working on that. If you were on the live yesterday, I've been working on that purple quilt. I finally have all the rows done with except the last one. And it has like 6 pieces, 8 pieces, that you put together. Literally every piece I've put together, I put together backwards. So I ripped that one out, fixed that, put the next one on, and put it on backwards again. So I have to stop and rip that one out. When I did it the third time yesterday, I thought, you know what? Maybe you're just tired and maybe you just need to put it back in the basket and maybe you'll get to that later. So that's what we're doing. We're getting to that one later. And the focus today is going to be on the sparkle and stripes quilt. And that is what we will work on together today. Let me know if you are working on that particular pattern or if you are working on something different. It does not matter. We have some giveaways today. We will make that happen for us. I appreciate you all giving up part of your holiday to share it with me. Really means a lot that we get to be together as a family on holidays like this. So that is awesome. And thanks for being here. So we will see what we can make happen today. Anna says, spent yesterday on lake Okanee. See, I'm too southern for this. Beautiful overcast day. I'm ready to get back to sewing. Yes, I understand that. It's so funny. So this morning I woke up. It was 71 degrees in the park home, and I thought, okay, so I complained about it yesterday because I whine about being cold, and it's fine. 71 I can handle. So I did check the temperature outside. It's 55 outside. So that's why it's 71 in the park home. Interesting enough, in Phoenix this morning, it was 71 was their low this morning. They're going up to like 95, close to 100, but it did not say they were going to hit 100. So we'll see. Um, but here, our high today is supposed to be like 78, 80 degrees. So we're typically about 20 or 25 degrees cooler than the valley, which is always very interesting. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, Danielle, I'll send you the link again. Sorry. Um, I will get that over to you in just a little bit. Hey, Michelle's Crafts and More. Welcome in. Thanks for being here. All right, I think I am caught up on chat again. Let me go turn Nightbot on. I forgot to set that up this morning. So I will need to be setting that up this morning so we can do some giveaways because giveaways are always a fun thing. We want to do it by keyword. We want to do it for everyone. We want to decide what the um, first giveaway is going to be. And there it is. All right. So fortunately, we are going to cross our fingers and hope that we don't have issues with Nightbot. I know a lot of folks. I know Sean, I think, finally got frustrated with it and moved away. I think Russ has done the same thing, and I think he's left Nightbot. I fortunately have just not been one of those that have had trouble with it. So we are planning to use Nightbot today, and we'll keep that going. All right, so let's see. I have got my coffee, guys, so you will have to forgive me. I've only had 3 cups this morning, and that's really low for me. Hey, Jackie, welcome in. Thanks for being here today. Lake Oconee. Oh, it's in Edmonton, Georgia. I should know where that is. I live down in North Augusta, South Carolina, so spent a lot of time in Augusta, Georgia, that area. Of course, I knew Atlanta. Years and years ago, I worked for a company that had a facility in Gainesville, is what we called it, but it was technically in Flowery Branch. So I've been kind of all over Georgia. I like Georgia. Georgia's always been a fun state to me. All right, what was I going to do? I got distracted. See, squirrel. That does happen to me. Not as often as someone else I know. I have a good friend that we tease him all the time about squirrel because he always seems to get lost in something. But let's grab my project and let's start unboxing it just a little bit so we can get that going. So we are going to work on sparkle stripes today. That is a cool pattern. Oh, Candace says she lives in Peachtree City. See? What a fun area. Interesting enough, I was told 100 years ago when I lived in South Carolina that at one point, South Carolina was the largest producer of peaches, even though Georgia claimed it and had the claim to fame. And then at some point, I guess they had a hurricane or something that came through, and this has been 50, 75 years ago, that took out a lot of their peach trees. And that's when um, Georgia truly became the go-to leader for peaches. I don't know. I just know when I lived down there, I got Vidalia onions that were very close and fresh. I got great peaches. I got a lot of that stuff. Very disappointingly, when I moved to Arizona, I thought this is going to be amazing, right? It's a dry, hot, nice climate. It's a very diverse climate here. And so, as such, I'm going to end up having lots of opportunities, right, for fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, all that kind of stuff. And guess what? Didn't happen. I think sometimes I think I've got the worst produce in this in living in this area than before I had all that. But just interesting. So you just never know. All right, so I have got all my stuff cut out. I will tell you guys, I don't know what you think, but I really began to wonder if I would ever get all of this cut out. This had a lot of cutting, and then I didn't realize, it tells you on the back this is going to be finish out at 62 by 82. Um, I don't know, they didn't seem that big. And then when I started real cutting this and realizing, wow, this is going to be a huge quilt by the time we get done. So it is what it is. It is the pattern that we chose. And so we will work with this and make it happen today. I am really happy that I did go with the red and blue stars for the quilt. I think just for me, it just adds a little bit more character, right? Versus just the solid red and blue. And part of that reason too is, honestly, I didn't have um, really a good solid red to go with it. So not what I would consider that patriotic solid red. So that's another reason I ended up going with this. You make sure the iron is on and working. So if you want to see what a finished block looks like, let me show you what Mama Jan sent me last night, because of course Mama Jan is an overachiever. So first she sent me a pic where she has not only cut all 12 of the squares, right, but she's already appliqued each of her stars from her AccuQuilt to each of the squares, because heaven forbid she is a overachiever. So that was exciting. I have yet to do that. I have not done that. I'm not sure when I'll get that done. I will say I do like the white background that she did, um, because I do like that red and blue check in, and I think that is really pretty. And then she did finish one block. And this, guys, is what our finished block is supposed to look like. And that is huge, I'm telling you. So at the end of the day, um, what did she tell me? They work out to be like 18 and a half inches square. How crazy is that? So this is going to be a big quilt. And that's another reason I'm kind of moving away from some of the Villa Rosa. I do like Villa Rosa. You all know I've liked Villa Rosa for years. I'm doing less work with Villa Rosa because I think I just want to do some more detail work. But I tell you what, to throw out and put together a quick, large quilt, you really can't. You can't beat Villa Rosa at the end of the day, especially for the price, right? For a $2 pattern, where else are you going to go and get a $2 pattern? Judy says she's west of Atlanta. Russ. See it easy because I didn't have my glasses on. Melissa says the hurricane took out a lot of the peach trees this year, and she's down near Augusta. I have to say, I did really love the Augusta area, and that I cannot think of the name of the restaurant. It was a British pub that was there in Augusta, Georgia. And oh my gosh, Ray Charles, is that right? Used to frequent there all the time because he lived in South Carolina, but he really liked that British pub. And he was driven in a midnight blue Rolls Royce, and you always knew when he was in the house because he literally had his car parked right in front of the door. So you had to walk around it to get in the door. I'm sure the fire marshals enjoyed that down there, but it was pretty cool. Cutie says Georgia is represented in abundance this morning. How cool is that? Right? It's nice that the East Coasters all join us because it's already 10 o'clock your all's time. Your day's half over. we're just trying to get things started out here. I haven't even had breakfast. I did bring breakfast this morning, so I may nibble during the live. I grabbed me a Pop-Tart this morning, so that's going to be my healthy breakfast this morning. Zaza said, hi, John and everyone. I just popped on to say hi before I go for a nap up until nearly 3 a.m. with the dog. The same dog woke me up at 5 a.m. Isn't it amazing how little sleep those puppies can get at times? I hope everything's okay, Zaza. Thanks for jumping on with us. How crazy. We have to do what we have to do. We'll be on 3 hours today. Join anytime that you want. Take a break anytime that you need it, and come back as often as you like. We'll be on till 10 a.m. my time. So let me start looking at the pattern again, because you can tell John has not gotten anything done. I have cut all the strips and everything that I'm supposed to. All right, so let me see. I am using a light gray thread. I tend to use just one thread so I don't have to change out all the time. And since this is going to have red borders, white borders, I think it works just fine. I will say I woke up a little bit with my ear bothering me this morning, and I think that's just purely from the change in weather. So I'm hoping that gets better when I get back to the valley. It's just funny that you don't realize that change in climate, what a difference that can make for you, but it absolutely does. So we'll see how that plays out. And then on top of it, I was looking this morning before I jumped on the live. Thank you. 18 days, guys, until I will be oceanfront. So I cannot wait to be back in Myrtle Beach. If you followed the channel for the last few years, you know that I go to the beach every year in June and take my spoiled grandkids, because that's why you have grandchildren. So we rented again another nice house down there. Be down there for a week. We are actually flying down on Friday the 13th. Did not really kind of put those two things together when I booked travel, but typically I fly in the day early because we can't get in the house till usually around 4 o'clock or so on Saturday. The kids drive down on Saturday. It takes them anywhere from 7 to 9 hours. It just depends on how many times they have to stop and take a break. My son-in-law spoils my daughter by making sure that she gets to stop about every 45 minutes, because growing up, Daddy used to say, yeah, we're going to stop up here in about 10 miles. And she knew that was probably going to be another 3 hours, because my philosophy was when you stopped, you should be able to go to the restroom, get something to eat, and and fill up the car. So I didn't like to stop the car until we needed to do all three. So my son-in-law reminds me of that and thanks me for that, because he says now he's charged with making up the difference, and that's good. That means he's a good husband. He's taking care of my daughter like he should. I remember one day, it was so funny. He texted me um, to tell me that I think my daughter was mad because she had gotten up, made him breakfast, put things together, done the dishes and that, and that he hadn't said thank you or something. And, can you believe how your little princess can be at times? And I said, well, obviously you don't understand the way life works, because you should have been the one to get up, make breakfast, cook, and take care of things for her. So therefore, I think you're just the jerk. So he texts me back, understood, and never texts me anything again. So, and we get along amazing. He actually calls me dad, which took me a little bit getting used to. But it's nice. I've got a son-in-law that respects me enough and cares about our family enough that he feels comfortable and wanted to do that. So pretty awesome at the end of the day. All right, let's see. Sorry, guys. I always like to check to make sure, because a 1/4 inch never looks like a 1/4 inch to me. And I think I'm paranoid now, because one time I was doing something like this and kept thinking, wow, I'm doing so good and it looks so nice, and yet it looks wide, I mean, it's like, but I'm getting so used to doing a 1/4 inch seam. And when I got about 2/3 of it done, I actually was smart enough to measure it and realized it wasn't 1/4 inch, it was 1/2 inch. So now I'm just real paranoid, so I make sure that I always check it. It did not say sew seams or iron seams open. No, it does not. So I am not going to worry about that at the moment. If you remember, I'm one of those freaks who just irons and irons and irons. So I do like to do that. All right, let me see what's going on here. Okay. No idea what's going on with that. So see what's going on there. So interesting enough, I knew I wanted to make sure everything went really well for my live. So I actually took the entire machine apart yesterday, cleaned the bobbin case, put a new needle on, um, just put everything together because I wanted to make sure this Juki was going to be happy with life today. And obviously it's not. So let's see what's going on down here. Oh, I'm out of bobbin, but I don't know why it had to jam the last little bit. All right, so we'll see how that goes. All right, let's see what the chat says. Um, Zaza says, sleep is calling, hound permitting. Tell you what, that's another reason I don't have puppies yet. You watch Danielle and you see those two adorable pups she's got. Does make you want them. Um, Stitcher says late. Went to the grocery store for one good thing, and you know what happens. Amen. That's why I tend to order all my groceries online. We ran to Home Depot yesterday because I needed to get the stuff for the get the new shrub and a few things for the house, and realized I had not thought about ordering shower cleaner. I was almost out of laundry detergent and a few things, so I ended up grabbing stuff there, and then realized, oh, now I know why I don't come to the store very often, because it's really easy to walk by, have a squirrel moment, and go, wow, did you really just buy all of that? So easy just to get caught up in the moment. It is fun. I do love shopping. That's part of the problem. But um, as you can tell, Mama Jan can tell you, I have tubs of stuff everywhere. That's why I decided I'm going to start gifting some of that on these lives instead of just having stuff sitting around. It just doesn't make sense. And I am able to share some fun, good things with everyone. Hey, Colleen, good morning. Welcome in. Thanks for being here. All right. Oh, Danielle says I've got 3 puppies. Oh my gosh, no. Katrina says my challenge for this quilt is extra wide salvages. I had to use part of the salvage in one piece or I wouldn't have had enough fabric. I understand that, believe me. Um, it's um, it's so interesting. I talk about downsizing and trying to get rid of, you know, share the wealth a little bit more and move some things around. And yet, yesterday, so it looks like that thread's going to be caught up down in there. So I may have to take this apart again. Interesting enough, yesterday I was watching, I don't know, I think Matthew on MX Mixed Domestic. He's got some really cool new fabrics coming out. He's got some new um, kits and that. So I started looking at it yesterday, and I was like, oh, you know what? That would really be cool to have. And I ended up looking to order a couple of new things. It was Christmas stuff, and like I need more Christmas stuff. Like I need a hole in my head. I was like, are you really sitting there looking at Christmas stuff? You absolutely don't need Christmas stuff. And I did not order it. Is the good news. Good news is I decided I am going to wait. Um, but we'll see. It's in the shopping cart. So I haven't even got my first order from him. He had something else that I decided I couldn't live without. And so I ordered that. And that was, he's had COVID and that. So he's been behind on shipping. And so I was like, okay, so it's not like I needed it. And so it just now shipped. I think it's actually at the house. So it'll be there when I get there tomorrow or tonight when my friend shows back up. Interesting enough, I had to call the neighbor because I got so many packages Friday to say, hey, could you run over and put this in the, just set it in the garage for me because it won't matter. And he did. He was nice enough to go do it. And look at the thread down in here, guys. Come on. Like, see, I just cleaned all this and put this together. Let me find my Q-tippy things. I don't know if you all have used these, but I really, really do like these. So these little Q-tips that are the plastic ones, they seem to really work well for me. Yeah, see, it's right here on the cutter. Wow, guys, really? I just cleaned this yesterday. It's too funny. And I will say I've quit using Aurifil thread, the cotton, because to me it just drives me nuts. It's so much dust and blah blah blah. So I have avoided using Aurifil, and I have switched everything for John back to Glide. I like poly thread. I don't think I'm not a purist, obviously, because I'm the new guy on the block, right? And I've got friends that say, "Oh my God, if you're sewing cotton fabric, you have to sew cotton thread," and blah blah blah, and that's okay. So I just don't tell people what I do. Because the one thing I have figured out in the quilt world, I have been so accepted. I have made such amazing friends. When you look at Mama Jan and Kathy and some of those that are over at Quilt Club, Lenny, um, they have just been amazing folks to really help me learn and do things. They're really good about sharing opinions, but they're also pretty good about, you got to figure out like what works for you. Like what works for me now is starching my fabrics and putting all that together. And that's just the way I like to do it. But, so we all kind of figure out what works for us, what's our technique. And then at the end of the day, it's like, you got some, it's just become these real purists that's like, well, no, you have to do this, you have to do that. And I keep going, but guys, I've read all kinds of books, I watch YouTube all the time, and I can't find like where there's all these written rules on stuff I have to do. But yet, I always find a few folks that tell me that's the way it has to be. It just has to be that way. So that's okay. I still do it the way John wants to do it. I figured I paid for it. I paid for the machine. I paid for the fabrics. I paid for all of it. So you know what? I can do whatever I want, which is kind of the philosophy I used in high school and that too. So it used to drive my parents nuts. My dad used to just shake his head at me. He knew I was kind of the rebel. I was a good rebel. I wasn't like a wild child in that, but I didn't. Um, I did have my own philosophy and my own values based, and sometimes the school thought their value based was a little bit stronger or better than mine. And fortunately, my dad always supported me because I never got trouble. It's just opinionated. All right. I'll check the chat in just a second. Let me finish getting this put back together and see if it's going to sew now. Managed to get one strip done. How crazy is that? And I am not putting in a fresh needle because I hadn't stitched hardly at all with this one. And I don't have a bottle over here to put my needles in. So I keep empty water bottles to put my needles in because I do like to jam garbage down And I want to make sure I don't stick myself when I do that. Really? How can I absolutely have this needle lined up perfect to go in there and then it not line up when I, there it is, finally. Let's screwdriver over on that side. See, hence why I do this offline and not try to do this during a live. All right, that's back on. Let me get the foot going. Let's see what's going on. Hey, Catherine, good morning. Arlene, good morning. Thanks for being here. Andrea, I just bought this pattern to make a quilt of valor quilt. I'm glad to see you working on it. Oh, thanks, Andrea. Judy, I believe, is the one that sent it over and said, hey, this would be good for the next holiday quilting bee. And you know what? I went, yeah, it sure would. So I have no idea what we're going to do in July, but I have a feeling July is going to be Christmas in July. So we'll see how that goes. Brian says, I need one of those. It's made a big difference. I like it better than the cotton in that, and they clean up so easy. Mama Jan says one of the cleaners makes them with uh, pipe cleaners and coffee stirrers. I've got one of those. I used it forever and ever and ever. And then I think it was Gypsy Quilter came out with those. Is when I switched over to that one. And after I switched over to that one, I have not, I haven't looked back. All right. Now I think all of this is back together. Let me find a piece of scrap so I can try to sew. And we'll see if this machine doesn't have a name yet. But it's going to earn a name if it keeps giving me problems today. Oh, got to thread the needle. That will help. So let's thread the needle. See if we can do that. Oh, interesting. I threaded the thread inside the foot. Well, that even makes it even better. There we go. Let's take the thread away. Now let's put the foot back on. You know what? I think it's what? It's 7:30. It's time for our first giveaway. So let's get things refocused and going in the right direction this morning. And let's see what we're going to do for the first giveaway. By the way, guys, I am not sponsored. Everything that I do is for John. Everything I share is my opinion alone. Um, I always have that down in the descriptions, but I think it's interesting as I see more and more folks being sponsored or getting a new machine to evaluate and tell you whether or not they like the machine, but they're not uh, exactly sponsored, but they're getting, and it's like, okay, so you're getting all these freebies, so you're really going to tell me that what your opinion is. Unfortunately, I think that's why I don't get freebies, because I would tell you what my opinion is. All right, let's see. Well, it says I don't use Orifil too much lint. I use Wonderfill now and get a better price. Yep, I agree. And I actually have Wonderfill on my, Etsy store. I am actually a supplier for Wonderfill, and I've used some of their different ones. So we will have to see. Charlotte says her Juki hates Aurifil thread but loved Glide in my Janome Aurifil and Glide. Yeah, I do think it does make a difference in the machines. When I had brothers back in the day when I was doing embroidery work on the commercial machines, everything that I did was Madeira, and Madeira just ran day and night. We hardly ever had a thread break. The only time we ended up having issues was when um, we ran out of bobbin, right? I mean, so it's always the issue. You can never have a big enough bobbin. Hey, Linda, good morning from Southern California. California's on the same time as we are, so it is still early there. Melissa says, please give me the thumbs up. Thank you all so much. I appreciate and you all help do the things that the YouTube algorithm likes. So this morning, first giveaway, we have a bunch of stuff. So I decided to start with notions this morning. So I am one of those people that just can't stand not to have a tweezers. So I bought a case of these. I have tweezers everywhere. I think I have 2 laying here. So anyways, tweezers is the first thing in the giveaway this morning. Snips, I live by my snips. I have 2 brands that I use. I really like these. I think they're called Kai originals. And then I tend to use these, which now the Fiskars is the other ones that I use. So I kind of alternate between the 2, but I really like the Kai better. I like the grip on these. So anyways, the Kai snips, tweezers, of course I love unicorns. And I discovered this Mary Ellen's Made by Hand therapy gel. I really, really like it. So I included that. So the first kit this morning will have these 3 pieces. If you put exclamation point snips, SNIPS, then we will see who Nightbot comes up with for the first drawing this morning. If you are out of country and when, we will send you, instead of doing international shipping, we'll do a $15 gift card from Amazon. I'm copying Miss Stephanie, I think is the one that showed me that, because it just gets to be a lot dealing with the international shipping in that, but I don't want to discourage international ones from participating, right? Because we love all of us as a big family. Just have to do things a little bit differently. So let's see where we're at this morning. Put SNIPS, SNIPS, in the chat, and we will go from there. All right. We'll give it just a couple of minutes for folks to get in, get that posted. Becky's here this morning. Good morning, Becky. All right. Oh, and Danielle said she sent me an email. I need to send her an email. Let me see where we're at. Oh. All right. There is that. All right, let's go over and get our first winner to kick off the Memorial Day holiday quilting bee. And Mr. Nightbot says the winner is Michelle's Craft and More. So Miss Michelle's Crafts and More, congratulations. You are the first winner of today. So if you will, down below, you will see my email scrolling, John, John, at guyscraft2.com. You will send me an email this morning with your shipping address. We will get that taken care of for you. And congrats. How awesome is that? And like I said, we'll have drawing about every 30 minutes today. All right, I am sending Danielle an email. All right, so now hopefully Danielle gets the email and we will be able to have her chat along with us this morning. Just crazy. Linda says it's good to see a guy with a hobby. You know, I understand that. It's so funny. I remember, like, I loved my dad. My dad did 2 things, 3 things. My dad worked. He was a electrician, blue collar electrician. Worked for a manufacturer. My dad read the paper, and you never touched the newspaper until my dad went through the newspaper every morning religiously. And in fact, growing up, we used to get two deliveries. They used to get a newspaper in the morning, and they used to get a newspaper, another edition in the afternoon. Dad got both editions. Dad went through the newspaper every day, twice a day. Hated it when they went back to once a day. And then um, he took naps in the chair before he got up to go to bed. That was like the three things my dad was interested in. That was like life. And it was just, I remember like, other dads fished and other dads did this. And like my dad had no interest in anything like that. And that was fine. I mean, it was what made him happy and how he trucked along with life. But it was just so interesting. So yeah, it's funny because my kids are like, you have so many interests. And I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, life's too short. I have lots to do. So I I am not going to life or waste time. All right, see what else is going on. Congrats, Michelle. Go. All right. We will see how that goes this morning. I sent Danielle the link, so she should be popping on in a few minutes on StreamYard. I do want to start hosting some more guests. I'm trying to get that figured out, but that's going to happen. Oh man, see, and I did this backwards. See what happens? And even Mama Jan sent these to me. So this, just so you know, guys, is not how you put these stripes together. So, um, so don't do as I'm doing. Do as the directions say. So let me go back and take this one apart. I think it's just because I'm learning to really enjoy seam ripping. Oh, Danielle says I'm sitting in the basement. Please let me in. All right, let me see. I don't see demo scenes. All right, Danielle, as soon as I see you pop up, present. Private chat, banners, media assets. All right, I'm looking, Danielle. I'm used to it popping up. Why is it not? Oh, I wonder if it's because I had these pictures. Yeah, there you are. Good morning, girl. So crazy enough, it wouldn't let you in because I had the two pictures sitting there to add stage, and I guess you're only allowed to have. So I had to remove
Ah.
pictures.
Yeah, I was like, let me in, let me in. I'm gonna come play.
Kept waiting for you to pop up. I was like, I thought she'd be ready. She's usually quick and ready to go.
I already have my email hanging open, just waiting for that link.
How are you
Hello,
in Michigan?
everybody.
So, how are things
What
in
are you?
Michigan this morning?
It is a beautiful day here. It's nice, sunshiny. The weather is perfect. And the
I
puppies are all wound up.
Yeah, it's still cool enough in the morning and that up there, right? That helps make them a little frisky.
Yeah, so right now it is like nice and cool weather. So like in the mornings it's like 60s. Hey
Crazy.
Brian, Charlotte, and Melissa. It's so funny because I was actually, while waiting for the link, I was actually sitting on a Zoom sharing my screen with Melissa and Michelle both. I was like, okay, ladies, I got the link. I'm heading out. See you later.
Well, and funny enough, I sent the link last night, but it set my alpha. I think I shut down too quick. I had so much other stuff going on, and
Oh, so it got like clogged up somewhere.
yes.
Yeah, because I got up this morning, I checked my email. I'm like, okay, he's not sent it yet. He'll send it when he's ready. And then
Tell
when
you
you
what.
said that you sent it, I'm like, no, you didn't. I'm like, I checked my spam and everything. No, you didn't.
Hey, so I'm ready for Halloween. How cool is that going to be?
Oh my gosh, it is gonna be so much fun. So I'm not ready for actual Halloween to be here because I mean we're just getting into summertime.
Right.
So I want to enjoy that. So once it starts getting too hot, then I'm ready for Halloween.
My problem is, so it's funny because, right, I can't stomach cold weather, but I don't mind cooler weather. And fall is like my favorite holidays. I would much rather have pumpkins and gourds and
Well, see,
Casper
I love,
ghosts and
yeah, for me, it's like I love fall. I love spring. I love the beginning of summer. Once you start getting into the mid 80s or higher, I'm done. I'm over the summer. Check, please.
but you know what's funny is, see, I don't like I'll do the spring flowers and all that stuff, but I don't like it as well. I like the fall colors better.
Okay.
I think it's just because
Yeah,
I
I
love
love the fall
purple and I know
colors,
I get.
but I love well, see, as beekeepers, I also love springtime because that's when you start seeing all the life come back.
Oh, I thought about you, Danielle. You did not get to see the quilt that I made for my daughter for the school teachers. So
Uh-huh.
my daughter had, so the kindergarten teacher had my granddaughter last year and loved her, and then had my grandson this year. So she was like, I really want to do something special. And so she had talked about, could you make her a quilt? Well, of course, then she calls me like the second week of April and goes, well, could you still make the quilt and could you have it like, here the first week of May? It's like, yes and no. So, yes, I can make the quilt, and no, I'm not dropping, like, no, I can't just pop a quilt out overnight. So I ended up, the school is the honeybees. And so
Oh.
I ended up doing it all in the golds and navy blues and all of those colors, and did a big, like 10-inch square, like layer cake is what I ended up doing and putting borders on. But the center, I cut out the beehive from AccuQuilt and used embrilliance to embroider the school's name on it, and then cut out two of the bees and put the kid's name and the year she had them flying around the beehive.
Oh, oh my God, I love it.
And
Okay,
it's like, oh,
you're gonna have to send me a picture of that because I gotta see it.
I was like, oh, Danielle would like that.
So you know speaking of AccuQuilt, you know the AccuQuilt die I told you I got of the gnomes?
No, yeah.
Turns out I had technically my husband got it for me because what I do is I put the dies on an Amazon wish list for the guys to have an idea of like gift ideas for like Mother's
Mhm.
Day, birthday, Christmas, stuff like that. Plus that way there I ain't got to spend my money on it then.
It is different. It's
So I
our
told
money, but then yet it is our money, right?
see what I say is what's his is mine and what's mine is mine.
That's right. I understand.
And it's taken 20 something years, but he's finally gotten that under control. And so turns out what I did is I put the gnome accessory die.
No.
And that's what he got me. So I'm like, well, crap. I don't have the gnome die. I'm like, okay, now I need the gnome die. So now you got to get me that one because now I need that one. I'm like, I can't make this other one without this one.
Because it's strictly to dress. It converts the gnome into a girl, I believe.
Yeah, it was so funny because I'm sitting there looking, I'm like, oh my God, this is gonna be so much fun. This is gonna be super
Yep.
cute. I pull it out to use it for a live stream, and I'm like, This says accessories. This does not have the actual gnome on it. Oh no. Oh no. What am I gonna do? I can't use this. I'm like, I need a body. I need a head.
How crazy is that?
I'm like, I need the actual gnome. I was like, oy vey.
So Danielle, do you ever have one of those days where you um, you're working on a project like this and you stitch it incorrectly, so you rip it apart, and then after you rip it apart and you iron it all out really nice, and then you go back and stitch it incorrectly like you just ripped apart?
Yes. So
Oh,
speaking of, this morning, I got a funny story for you. So Sean had his Discord thing this morning. I was
mm,
over on his Discord and I was not even a half a cup into my coffee yet. Just sitting there hanging out with him and a few others. And within the first 3 scenes, I had already had to pull up my what I call Victoria, because my seam ripper, sorry, Quasar. My seam ripper, John, see? It's this nice, beautiful,
oh
like
yeah.
antique rose gold metal, old-fashioned seam ripper. So I call her Victoria. And I had to pull her out for every seam I sewn. I had to pull her out. And then I burnt my fingers ironing.
Oh,
I'm like, okay, I need another cup of coffee.
we need to work on you. You are accident prone. You burn your fingers all the time.
I do. See, I burnt my fingertip right here this morning, put the iron right down on top of it.
Oh my gosh.
The other day, I burnt my arm here. That one's
Yeah, I
still
saw that
tender.
one yesterday, I think, on your live,
Yeah, I was
because you were
talking
talking
about my
about your aloe
boo-boos.
vera. Yeah.
Yep. I was discussing my boo-boos and my new accessory for my sewing room.
How crazy is that?
I've
Girl.
always been accident prone, though. I've always been accident prone. That's just how I am.
Well, poor Andrea goes, I was sitting here laughing at John because I saw what he was doing. I was going to say something, but I knew he wouldn't see it in the chat anyway. So I just sit here and laugh that he's doing it again.
Well, Andrea, I'm here now, so you can always put it in the chat and I'll call him out on it.
Yeah, the sad thing is, it's not like, I mean, it is what it is. It's not like you can even try to hide the mistake. See, that's the fun thing about us, right? We make mistakes, we bounce back, we just go right along with it.
Shoot, I announced it whenever I make my mistakes. I'm like, shoot, I'll sit here and I'll announce it to you, and then we can all laugh about it together.
Oh, look, Charlotte says, I have both of the AccuQuilt gnome dies and I have the truck die. I make gnome wall hangings for all of the holidays for her daughter-in-law.
Oh, that is so awesome, Charlotte. Yeah, I want to get those. I want to get the no one. I want to get the truck one, because you guys know I love my old-fashioned red trucks.
I just bought the truck die. So, because our local quilt shop, the one that I am crazy about, runs AccuQuilt dies. They consider it a notion. So when they have their black bag, you get one notion. And the neat thing is, Danielle, you can go on Friday and go back on Saturday and get the same discount. So you can do it 2 days in a row. But anyway, the store had the red truck die, and I didn't have it. And anyways, it was on sale for like $65, I think. But then I got 40% off of it, and I found out that they're raising all of their prices, like at AccuQuilt. So even though the store already had these dies, they're raising all of their prices to match AccuQuilt. So
Oh,
I was able to
wow.
get it at the old price. So I ended up only paying like $30 for that. I mean, you just can't beat that.
No, you cannot. So unfortunately, I don't have the pattern that you're working on this morning, but I am working on a patriotic item because I'm working on my chain link.
Oh,
because this is for my uncle for his birthday, and today is actually his birthday. So I showed him a picture of it yesterday. I'm like, okay, this is what you got coming for you for your birthday, but it's going to be a couple weeks. I'm being very optimistic on this whole couple week timeline I'm setting up for myself, but it may not be a couple weeks, but I'll at least show him a picture of it so he knows it is coming.
So he knows it's real, right? See, that's the thing. At least he
Yeah.
knows.
He knows I'm not pulling his leg and pulling something out of my hiney
All right,
at
I
the
will
same
sew this
time.
one
I'm
correct
actually
this time.
got something in the making. The thing is, the picture I showed you. So the funny thing is, the picture I showed him was just
Mhm.
the first initial block I did. So he didn't get to see the full blown effect of what it's going to look like.
Oh yeah, it almost looks like a wedding, like a double wedding ring.
It's kind of sort of like the double wedding ring quilt, but a lot like there's no curves or anything. So,
Uh,
but yeah, it's like about like the same type of concept and everything, but it's traditional piecing and there's no curves. I got to try and between myself and Tiffany, we have it down towards like I'm doing 2.5 inch squares, 2.5 by 4.5 inch rectangles, and 4.5 by 4.5 inch squares.
wow.
Yeah. It's so funny because once I got done doing all the quilt math, I went over and looked at Tiffany's pattern, and she already had it all done for all the math. I'm like, well, dag burn it.
And I really like the zigzag pattern.
The zigzag pattern.
The
Oh, this one right here.
not the pattern, but the yeah, the fabric.
Yeah, I love that one. It's like little chevron stripes.
Yeah, there you go. I couldn't think of the word.
I got you. So funny. I went on the front room to get me a refill of coffee before I clicked on the link to come in here. And my son was sitting out there watching Crocodile Dundee.
No way.
Yeah, I'm like, oh no, this is a blast from the past.
I've been seeing all the pictures of oh, what's the who is the Australian guy that was in, he got killed by a stingray.
Oh, that was Steve. First name was Steve. Crocodile.
Remember, because that movie always reminded me of him. And apparently, his very good-looking
Irwin.
son,
Steve Irwin.
Steve Irwin. So apparently, his
Yeah,
son has
I
kind of picked up where Dad left off, and but all of his
cried my
pictures
eyes
are
out at his funeral.
do what?
I cried my eyes out at his televised funeral.
Oh yeah, right. But his son apparently has picked up where his dad left off, and but he does all his pictures in his underwear.
Oh no.
Yes, and he's attracted a lot of media attention, believe me.
Oh, I'm sure. I am sure. See, I wouldn't even be able to watch that.
Danielle, look, I actually did it right. I have 1 out of 24 done.
See, you just needed me here.
Oh,
That's all it matters.
mm.
See, Colleen says, love the name Victoria rather than Jack. Good one to know. Yes. I'm like, this is like a vintage Victorian type of design. So but it makes me think of Victorian for my seam ripper. And she's even got like a little jewel up here. Actually, one up here, a red jewel here and a green jewel there. So it reminds me of like an old Victorian type of item.
Wow.
So I named her Victoria. And then, let's see, Andrea says, that is why we love y'all, because you do not pretend. You make the same mistakes we do that makes us not feel so bad. Yes, I like making the mistakes so that way there I can show you how I go about fixing it. Or sometimes you can just laugh with me and go, oh, poo. See, Andrea says, I am putting together my quilt sandwich to start my third big stitch quilt for this month. Awesome sauce, girl. And she says, woohoo, way to go, John. See, now I can read the chat for you and you can just keep working.
I see that. I appreciate that. I do need a moderator. It's so crazy. I don't have a moderator, and I need to. I really need to go back and work on that.
Well, you could always make me a moderator, and I'll be here to make sure everything goes in line.
I tell you what, girlfriend, I don't see how you have time. You work full time as well. You're on all the time. You're on 2 and 3 days a week. You knock out all kinds of projects. You're doing a yard sale, or not yard sale, but once a month. I mean,
yeah. See, I don't do the once a month sales now.
oh, you haven't?
No, so after it was like January or February was my last one that I did for the once a month thing. It got to be too stressful and too much for me. Where it's like as soon as it got done, I would spend like the next like week or two shipping out orders and then trying to get ready for the next one, and I was getting nothing accomplished for my channel. Since I quit doing them, now I'm actually getting stuff done for my channel. So I decided, okay, so now I'm just going to periodically do a sale whenever I feel like doing one. Like I have one scheduled for May 31st. But the thing is, you actually have to, so now for the sale, instead of it being on my live streams, you actually have to fill out the Google Forms thing I have in the description of my videos to register to be able to get the Zoom link. And I'm going to do it through a private Zoom now.
Oh, that's cool.
Hey, Joydy. And that way there, when you fill that out, I already have your name and your address. So that way there, I can already calculate the shipping. And I don't have to track you down to try to wait for the email to come through or blah, blah, blah. It's already done and ready to go.
Oh, look at Andrea. She's such a sweetheart. She said, I'm glad you were in Danielle's chat yesterday, or I would have never known to be here today. I would have just had movies going as I worked.
Aww.
Very
it was
sweet.
a great surprise to see John in my chat yesterday.
Well, the problem is I have to always have my laptop with me because, like, I have 40-inch TVs, like, in every one of my rooms. And so I'm always on YouTube, but I can't chat from the TV.
True.
So,
and see, for me, usually when I'm watching live streams, I do it all from my cell phone.
That's what I need to start doing, because I do, because like, see, being here at the park home, I'm on my laptop the whole time I'm up here. So I'm a stalker.
Like whenever I'm watching a live stream while I'm working, I'm watching it from my cell phone. Or from my little tablet that I have sitting down there. Quasar, if you don't stop, you're going to be dinner for the kitty cats.
Oh my gosh, she has cats too?
I got 4 dogs, 4 dogs, 3 birds, 2 cats, and a fish tank.
Oh my gosh. And you sew and do all the, it's like, goodness gracious, girl, I think I'm busy.
Yep, I sew, I do gardening and my flowers, which I'm not going to lie, is mainly what the guys do, is they handle the garden and the bees. Oh, and I got the bees. But the guys handle the bees. And they handle the veggie garden, and they help me out with my flower garden because I don't get outside much. I help take care of Grandma next door.
We're just now getting tomatoes out of our garden. We've got tomatoes. I've got zucchinis that are literally this big. I've never seen zucchinis grow so fast and huge. What else? I've got onions. I got tons of onions because the guy we got the plots from had planted like 50 onions. So I got enough onions to feed all of Phoenix. What else have we got? We got our first green pepper. We got our first jalapeno.
Yeah, see, we got tomatoes, sweet peppers, hot peppers. Yeah, we got tomato plants, sweet peppers, hot peppers. Because I like the sweet peppers. The guys like the hot peppers. And we got zucchini, squash. Michelle goes, Danelle, don't you be mean to my Quasar, Sky, and Kiwi. I'm not being mean to Sky or Kiwi. And technically, I'm not being mean to Quasar. I'm just telling him the truth.
Hey, it's time. Let's do a giveaway.
Yes.
So I had bought this from Keepsake Quilt Kits. It's called the By My Side bag. It makes one 11 by 12 bag, does not include the handles. It's considered intermediate level, and it comes with a five quarters. So I think it's really cute fabrics, or I
Oh,
wouldn't have
those
thought it
peppers
would be.
are gorgeous.
And that's what the finished bag looks like.
Oh, it's super cute. It'd be a great project bag.
That's what I thought, because I thought I really wanted to get into making totes, and then I decided, you know what, let's give some of this away. So let's do exclamation point
Like,
tote.
not.
Exclamation point tote. TOTE.
Come on, peoples. Put it into the chat. Come on, you know you wanna.
If anything, you can use the 5 fat quarters that are in there.
Right? I mean, shoot, that alone makes it worthwhile.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Jordy says, beautiful bag. Balloonist, Brian and Andrea and Charlene. Good morning, Charlene. And Donna Sweetman.
And Charlene left the E off.
Oh, yeah, she did. Tot. Hello, Jen C. and Jean E. Saying hello to all the people I haven't said hello yet to. And Tina Lou, good morning. And Becky, good morning. How many times do we enter? Just once or more? You just put it in once per giveaway. Because each giveaway has a different code name.
Yeah, and I think even Nightbot restricts, it won't let you have double entries.
Yeah, so with Nightbot, it only counts it if it's one entry.
So, Danielle, my son became an official resident of Knoxville, Tennessee.
That is so amazing.
He is so he's in the Air Force. He's got 2 years before he gets to retire, which we still don't talk about. He's earned it, but anyways, that's where he wants to finish out, and that's where he's in Alcoa technically working, but where he bought in
Oh my God, are
Knoxville,
you
I think,
serious?
yeah, it's only like 20-25 minutes from where he's at. So he ended up buying a.
Do you
He
want to hear
bought
something very funny?
what?
The retreat I'm going to in October with Donna and Mei Bai Ying,
Yes.
her October retreat, the closest airport that I'll be passing by is in Alcoa.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. I've already told a few people, I'm like, listen, I'm like, if y'all fly through, I can pick you up if you land over in Alcoa.
Well, he
Because
loves
I'm driving
Tennessee.
down. My mom and myself and my mom is driving down, and that's in October. So
That'll be a pretty
means
good
it's a
drive
good
for you,
month for
right?
you to come visit your son, and we could try and meet up.
See? Tell you what, it's all these East Coast trips is killing me. It's just air flights have just gotten so expensive.
That's why I drive.
Oh, I get it. All right, let's see who
Because
is
also,
the.
because also, not only just the price of the air flight, but all these crashes makes me go, I don't know. I think I'll pass. I'm like, driving seems like a good safe route right now.
All right, let's choose a winner.
Oh, yes.
Came up with Melissa again.
Oh, no, Melissa won it this time. Michelle won it last time.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right. Melissa, congrats.
Congratulations, Melissa.
Awesome.
Yeah, I didn't even enter because I'm like, I don't need any more to do.
That's why I ended up going back and I was like, guys, I've got so much. I mean, Mama Jan will tell you, I have got so many things stacked in totes and that. And it's like, that just doesn't make sense. Plus, if I don't get rid of some of this stuff, I can't end up buying more, right? So,
Right. That's why this year is all about is all about me trying clearing out all my whips. I got so many that either need to be finished, need to be pieced, need to be cut. I got 2 legit kits that I need to finish doing. I'm just
well, and
like,
that's,
oi, 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 I need to get it together. So
well,
I
and that,
have gotten Michelle's Crafts and More to agree to crack that whip on me whenever I start slacking.
that's why I was sitting there looking at, I did the UFOs the other day, right? I've got 23, almost 24 now quilt tops that I need to get done. And it's like, but I don't want to stop doing, it's like if I would just get in the habit of doing one or so every weekend, it wouldn't be that bad. And I will say, I really have fallen in love with Chris over on Rose City Originals because I really like the way that
Amazing.
they do the binding with AccuQuilt. And now that I bought that compensating foot, I'm really anxious to get home and try that on my Juki.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah,
So
I
I
need to
may.
email Juki Junkies to see if that little adapter thingy that you put on the bottom of your foot pedal, if it will work for my machine. It's supposed to help keep you from activating that part of the foot pedal, that the thread cutter portion.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I am so sick and tired of. I found a video to disable that feature. However, that video does not tell me how to open up my foot pedal, and I can't figure it out.
Oh.
I'm like,
See, I
I
use
went
that
to
all the time.
my thread cutter don't even have a blade in it. Because I just
No.
got to take my machine apart one day and do a good heavy duty cleaning myself, and I lost the blade because I took one too many screws apart. I was like,
That,
oh, what's this do? Because my theory is always, okay, well, whatever I mess up, my husband can fix.
yeah, I remember 100 years ago when computers were really first coming out and we were networked or trying to decide if it's going to be network or PC. One of my IT guys told me, he goes, listen, there's nothing that you can do to this computer that we can't fix. Then he came down one day and he goes, okay, the whole system just shut down. Did you do this, this, and this? And I said, yeah. And he goes, well, remember when we told you couldn't do anything we couldn't fix? Could you just slow down? Because, like, dude, you're killing us back there.
I'm like, well, you said.
Yeah, it's like, you're the one that told me that, just try it, just make it work. It's like, because they kept saying, you shouldn't be scared of them. So I wasn't.
Yeah, see, my cat. Hey, Laura, how you doing, sweetheart? So, one of our cats, she loves getting on my husband's computer. If he leaves his computer on and doesn't like lock it and close down the lid of his laptop, she loves getting over on his computer.
No kidding.
And because it produces the heat, so like a body heat type of thing, and so cats love that. And so she gets over there and lays down on it, pushes all these keys and everything on the keyboard of the laptop. She has caused settings in there to change and things to take place with his computer that he did not know how to fix. And he had to try to figure out how to fix in order to access his computer again. And he has been an IT specialist since like the 90s.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know what she did, but she did something. I'm like,
That'll teach you not to
like
lock his keyboard again, won't it?
oh, so now it's like because our desk is right beside of each other. So now whenever I get up, because he gets done a half an hour before I do. So anytime now that I get done off of work, if he doesn't have his computer lock, I lock it for him. So I'm like, oh no, we gotta keep that paycheck coming.
But you know, it is funny what our animals get into, right? I mean, like what, of course, cats are curious anyways.
Oh, cats are so crazy. Razor, you need to be a good baby before mommy has chicken nuggets for dinner. Don't care what Auntie Michelle says. She's not here to save you.
You know, we had lovebirds when the kids were young.
Lovebirds are amazing. Lovebirds and budgies are amazing. Quasar is amazing too because he's so smart, but at the same time, he's also a pain in the booty because he's also loud when he starts squawking. At least when lovebirds squawk or whatever they want to do, they're not as loud and high pitch.
Mm-mm. No, and it's funny because we had I had a lady that I worked with, and she was a big bird fanatic, and she had gray macaws. Like, I mean, she had all these crazy birds, and she used to clip the wings for us every so often, and she'd come over and check on them. Like, she knew everything about birds. It was crazy.
Yeah, you got to keep the wings clipped so that way because it's for their own safety and security.
Mm-hmm.
Michelle, you can tell the hubby all you want. I guarantee you he can probably hear me from the other room. I'm not scared. Okay, let's see. We're going to put that one there. That should be good because we can build up on that piece. Uh-oh.
So, what's Miss Donna's retreat going to be like?
I couldn't tell you because it's going to be my very first ever quilt retreat.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes. So I'm like super excited.
You don't know if she's picked projects or if it's open or.
I do know that she has picked out some projects for us to do. I just don't know all the details to it just quite yet. She's going to be releasing the details like sometime soon.
Mm-mm. Well, that's exciting. I didn't realize you have never done a retreat.
This is going to be my very first ever quilt retreat, so it's going to be a lot of fun. What do you do with all your finished quilts? Jordy, usually whenever I'm making a quilt, I have a designation for them already before I do them. Because I like to do quilts for a purpose. Like they already have an owner when I figure it out. There are some quilts that I have done, like baby quilts or my cotton cut quilts that have not fit, that I don't have a home for yet. And currently they sit in my closet until I find a home for them. Or I donate them to, like, I have, like, if they're like a lap size or bigger, then there's a place right by me called Veterans Returning Home. They actually can house up to 88 veterans that are just coming out of the service, and they help rehabilitate these veterans to get back out into society by helping them try and deal with any mental issues or from being in the service, as well as help them get jobs, and they provide meals for them and stuff like that. So I've donated quilts to them. I want to start making, once I get a lot of my other whips all taken care of, I want to start making some baby quilts to donate to the my local children's hospital. And that's probably where a lot of my cotton cut quilts are probably gonna wind up going. That one I need to unstitch because I boo-booed. I
I
did it.
haven't done.
Oopsies.
I have not done cotton cuts yet.
I love it. I love cotton cuts.
I
Some
do
people
have.
have issues with it, but personally, I love it.
I have one of theirs that I bought that was like a leftover, where they send you all the pieces match, right? But you have to figure out what you want to do with like all the half square triangles, and then you make your own pattern.
Yeah.
Because Katie had that, and I ended up buying one. It's actually all ocean. It's really a beautiful fabric in that, but I haven't yet to take it out of the box to even play with it.
Let's see. It's going to be chaotic fun, I think. I want to go, but it's full. I'm so sorry. Who's going to QuiltCon in 2026? Jordy wants to know.
Have you been to
So,
QuiltCon yet?
I have not. I would like to, but I have not went yet.
But see, again, that's what kills me about QuiltCon, right? So they're doing Raleigh next year. They're doing Atlanta in 27. And then supposedly, I guess they come back to Phoenix in 28 or come back west. But again, instead of doing Raleigh and Atlanta right there together, why didn't they look at doing like Texas or Michigan or somewhere that would have been more,
So I've
Midwest
actually
or
done
Central?
asked. Yeah, I've actually asked why. I've actually asked somebody. I don't remember who it was, but it's a bigger content creator. Why they don't do like some, like a northern state for some of
Yeah.
us that have a harder time of getting down south. And I can understand the reason why, because we have such rough winters with the snow and the ice storms that it makes it hard for transportation for people to get in, as well as for the care of the quilts.
Oh, that's funny. See, I forgot about because they do it in February. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
probably
and
not a
which is
month.
like our worst winter month.
I was gonna say that's probably not a time I want to go to Michigan.
It's not a time I want to be in Michigan.
Oh my goodness.
If we're gonna be honest, I don't want to be in Michigan in February. By
No.
by January, I'm over the winter. By February, I am so sick of it. It's like I could spit fire.
And the sad thing is you can't beat the summers.
The summers are not bad in Michigan.
No. Best I remember, you all don't have the humidity near like we did in the South.
The winters here are definitely way better. Okay, let's see. I need my little cheat sheet chart here because I just can't build this out by brain.
At least
Trying
I
to put
got the
together.
excuse it's still early.
Huh?
At least I have the excuse it's still early here.
Right? There.
Susan said it's just like conferences, too cold in the northern states.
Yes.
Oh, there's Judy. Good morning, Judy.
Good morning, Miss Judy. How you doing? And Miss Susan.
Yeah, I am excited because I get to go to Road to California in January. So that'll be fun. I don't know if we're driving or flying. It's only about 5 hours to drive. So I really think we'll probably end up driving just because it'll probably be easier getting back home because John may buy a couple of things while he's there. But so instead of doing QuiltCon next year, we're doing Road to California.
Oh, awesome.
And Sally, one of my subscribers, is going to be there. She lives right there. So we're having dinner or lunch together one day.
Oh, that's even better.
It is fun when we get to meet people.
Yes. Did I boo boo? I think I boo booed.
Laura says, I would love to go to QuiltCon in 26, but it's the same weekend that her husband and her run a charity car show. So she lives in Phoenix area, so she was able to get to QuiltCon in 2025. There you go. So maybe we'll meet each other in 28, Laura.
So, Jordy, I moved to Michigan when I was 18. I grew up in Tennessee, but I moved here to Michigan when I turned 18 years old, right after I graduated high school. My mom brought me here for the very first time ever. I got to experience Michigan at its best, and I was like, ooh. I'm like, you mean there's places I could try and live where I don't have to drive a half an hour away to go grocery shopping? I can actually just like, yeah, okay, sweet, I'm staying. Okay, so I need to cut more fabric.
How did you do that? Did you just not cut enough to begin with?
When I was sewing up these like two patches right here of this white with a color, I
Yes.
got a little excited and sewn up too many,
I understand.
which
See,
is
I
how
can
I came
relate
up with
to
all
that.
these, which is how I came up with all these extras of these. So I was like, ooh, I mean, I guess I could, instead of cutting, if I find it in here, I guess I could just unpick it. And of course, oh, there it is. Okay. I was going to say, and of course, I don't see that one. But I just found it right at the bottom of the pile. I was like, Dick, burn it.
So, how did your seam ripper become not Jack?
Because this seems way too girly to be a Jack. This is very like Victorian, elegant. And like, yeah, this needs a fancy name.
I think so too. I like it. I really do.
It reminds me of like something you'd see off of the fancy area of the Titanic. It's the type of era that it makes me think of, like a Victorian era or something. So I'm like, this needs a fancy name, not a plain Jane Jack type of name. Jack is cool and all, but that doesn't look like a Jack.
No,
Okay,
it
Luna
doesn't.
says, I drove to Road to California this year. Go back. My go back in 2026. And Laura says, I would love to meet up with you. I moved to Michigan in 87, spent 1 year there, and moved to Arizona. I was in East Lansing. It's beautiful, but too cold for me. Well, if you ever come back up here, let me know. And we'll definitely meet up.
And then Joydy says there's a lot of extras, Danielle, you can always use for a wall hanging or table runner.
Oh, definitely. I figure because this is going to be for my uncle, so I figure worst case scenario, what I'll do is I'll make, because I have a whole jelly roll still that I haven't even cut into it, this fabric. So I bought 2 jelly rolls, and I was initially going to do a queen size bed, but then I changed it to do a lap quilt for them. And I'm like, whatever edges I have, I'm going to do for borders going around, like a scrappy border for him. Just the layout takes me a little bit because I've only done 4 of these blocks, and it's been a little bit since I did it. So,
But they love it when they get it, don't they? They don't know they have no idea the aches and pains we went to get there.
right? Tell me I did this all wrong. Do not tell me I did that all wrong. I'm gonna cry.
Joydy says my sewing room is way too clean.
Well, you know how you fix that.
I am just a fanatic. It's the way my mind works. So if I don't have everything, like I'll end up spending half a day reorganizing, wiping everything down, putting everything back in a tote, making sure like all my AccuQuilt dyes have got a very specific way they have to be stored. And if not, I can't quilt. I mean, I can't sew. It just the chaos just drives me nuts. It just
So what you're saying is you're not like me where you can just put on the blinders.
no. No, my mind just doesn't work that way. It just really it makes it hard for me to concentrate, like to sew and do what I need to.
Yeah, I got found. Definitely gonna have to open up the other jelly roll just to get
Aw.
this one strip of fabric out. That boo booed.
At least you have the second jelly roll.
Only because I was initially planning on doing only because I was initially planning on doing a queen size quilt. Because I actually at first only bought 1 jelly roll. And I was like, oh, you know what? He's got a queen size bed. He's 6'4". We'll do a very large quilt. See, John, your sewing room is clean. Is way too clean, right, Joydy? See, mine's a mess. Y'all don't see my mess. So I got a big, huge mess over here. So I still got to work on cleaning up on the floor, and then y'all don't see what's all behind the wall. There's
Well,
a
see,
reason there's a wall.
the worst thing about this is like so this is the family room, kitchen, all right for the park home. So here this actually the Juki pushes down, and this all collapses to make one little desk. So if we're entertaining or whatever, then I gain all this space back. So like before I leave tomorrow, this will all be put back away and be all all condensed.
Think I may have done some orientation wrong pieces on half of my strips that are like this.
Oh.
I think it was supposed to be where the angle went the other direction. So now I'm trying to figure out how to go about fixing this.
If anyone can figure it out, though, it's Danielle.
I'll definitely get it figured out. Just trying to figure out how to fix it without ripping. And I'm not figuring that one out without ripping or without redoing. And I'm not finding a resolution on this matter.
It's like when my daughter asked for that bee quilt for the school teacher. Then she goes, "Well, would you be able to make like a cute little tote for the first grade teacher? Because I hate to not give her some, something. Yeah, okay, whatever." So I ended up finding a really cute beehive tote bag that I ordered out of a quilt shop in New York because they were the only ones that had it left. And then when it came in, it was all applique, but it was all laser cut. It was really nice in that, but I ended up having to pay one of my friends to put it together because I was like, "There's no way that I'm gonna get this done in time." So I told my daughter, I said, "You have no idea how much that tote cost." By the time I paid for the kit and then paid someone else to work on it, I was like, "You." She goes, "Well, I'll send you some money." I was like, "No, I'd be embarrassed to tell you how much how much is in that."
I know, don't give me money. Just don't ask me to do it again.
Yes, right. I told her, I said, she goes, "Well, they're going to be so thrilled." I was like, "They ought to be thrilled, honey, that you have no idea." I mean, by the time I paid the shipping to get it there, it's like, oh my gosh, girl.
Yes.
Hey, it's 8:40. Is it time for another drawing?
It sounds like it to me.
What we can do. All right, I have, where am I at?
I don't know. I thought you were in your front room, but I mean, I could be wrong.
I have a Riley Blake charm pack. I actually got it from Missouri Star Quilt called Hand Picked Produce, fanciful florals with an orange fizz. Sometimes you buy things and open it up and go, "Wow, I wonder why I bought that. I wonder what made me grab this one."
Yeah, I've done a lot of things from Missouri Star during COVID that way. I got it and not for sure why. And then years down the road, I'm like,
So this one's a smaller charm pack. It's actually 24 pieces, but it's in the orange with the orange flowers and that. So
that
it's
is
all
adorable.
right. It's all orange, which is interesting. So kind of that orange tan brown. It says fanciful florals, orange fizz. So if you put exclamation point charm in the chat, we will get that going.
That is super cute.
I think so too. I see, I'm an orange person. My favorite color is purple, but if I can't find purple, then I go to orange.
Yes. Yes, purple. Yes. Okay, so our Halloween theme is going to be purple.
There you go.
Especially since me and you both love purple. So Halloween theme is purple.
You love purple. I do. It's funny because we're looking at like some of the things we want to do for the for our retreat around, cups or shirts and totes and different things to put our logo on and that and everything I've looked at is purple. I was like, well, I hope when folks walk away, they understand. Well, John likes purple, so we're leaving with purple. That's our choice.
You could also try and add in there the fact that it is the color of the year for Kona.
Is it really?
Yes. Kona's color of the year for this year is purple.
I
It's
did
like
not
that
know that.
deep, yeah, it's like that deep print type of purple. I don't remember the exact name of, but it was a very like deep, dark purple, like prints
Mm-hmm.
always were. So
How cool is that? I don't know. I've always liked purple. It's just back in the day, it was me and Donny Osmond. He was the only other person I knew that ever claimed purple. I was actually watching Matthew on Mixed Domestic the other day. He was talking about some of the new fabrics and that he's getting in his store, and he likes purple and uses purples for a lot of things, and was told by some of the manufacturers that purple just does not sell. It's the least popular color that people buy in quilting. Thought it was interesting. He didn't agree with that. He carries a lot of purple in his shop,
I don't
but
either. I don't agree with it either.
he said that's why you have a hard time though finding some of the purples, is just because it is, they believe that it's just doesn't it's not popular. Yeah, I
I
disagree with
think they are crazy. Yeah. See, Quasar agrees. They're just crazy.
that.
Yeah.
Melissa says
You tell
purple
them,
is a great
baby.
color.
Yes.
All right, let's go over and see if I can get Nightbot to work again.
My
Nightbot's
son
actually
kit. Bart says my cotton cut PMQ as well, West Saloon, all purple batiste. My very first PMQ with cotton cuts was purple, and that was Tree of Life.
all right.
Okay,
Choose
so
Jen.
hey, congratulations! Woohoo!
So again, if you just my email is down below. So if you just hit
If his email is right here, what? It's scrolling right here, right
and Danielle can say that because she's the one who taught me how to set the scrolling up.
here.
She's had her
Someone
hands
had
full
to
this
get
week.
you to get. Hey, somebody had to get you together, okay?
Right, I tell you, poor Danielle, she's had her hands full. She had to tell me how to do closed captioning. She had to tell me how to do.
Well, I had to make it friendly for everybody.
You ought to see me trying to build this website out to put all this other stuff on. It's like, oh my gosh, it just takes.
Yeah, I don't know anything about building out websites, so that one you'll probably have to teach me.
Well, and the problem is it's not what I enjoy, right? So it's like you need it, right? It's almost like a necessary evil, but then it's like that's not what I want to do. Like I don't want to be doing bookkeeping. I don't want to be doing, registrations, and but
I need
if
to
I want,
hire an administrative assistant to do all the nitty gritty work that I don't want to do, and I'll just be the face of it.
wouldn't it be
Like
nice?
I'll be like I want to be like the Jenny Donna Danelle Stitchery.
See, that just makes sense to me, right? I get that. I understand that.
I want to be the face, not the person behind the scenes.
That's why I have a good time. Life's too short. It's like, that's why I think it'd be fun to, do retreats. I want to go to Road to California. Like, I like the social aspect, even though, believe it or not, I'm a huge introvert.
Okay, so this is the one that I had that was sewn on backwards.
Okay.
So what do I do?
No, you did not. You pulled a John.
You're contagious, John.
Now, you only have to do it twice.
Well, this made 3 so far. I seen yours and raised it one. Oh my gosh.
Mama Jan says purple was originally the color of royalty and others were not allowed to wear it, FYI.
Very cool. I've heard that before. Don't remember where I heard that from, but I heard that before.
I don't know. I've just
See,
always been
John,
a
that just
purple.
means we're see, John, that just means we're royalty.
That's right. I have no problem with people calling me King John.
Queen Danelle has a ring to it.
Listen, I've gotten used to my grandchildren call me Papa John, so
Okay. Put that piece of white rectangle in the scrap bin. Good thing I cut enough material for a queen size quilt.
that's what it's so funny because like my daughter's like, I wish you lived closer so you could teach me and blah blah blah. And I'm like, yeah, I do too sometimes. And then my son-in-law last year was like, so do you think when we get down to the beach, if we took your dad to like one of those sewing stores that he'd help you get a sewing machine? And she goes, so what are you looking for? And she goes, well, I thought if we bought a sewing machine while your dad was there, he could teach you how to hem pants. She goes, I don't think it's the same thing. And I don't think you probably want to ask him about hemming pants.
No, if it was to make a gnome wall hanging, I'm sure John be all for it.
I did find a really cool quilts at the beach store last year.
Okay, so before I cut the background off on this one, I'm going to double check it. Because my mistake on the previous 3 was I did not double check before I cut it. Okay, we got it right this time.
That's why I finally last night I put the other quilt away. I was like, I am so done with this. I have messed every other block up on this last row. I just wanted the last row done.
Right.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, I've learned a very valuable lesson at times. You make a same mistake a certain number of times, it's time to put it down and move on to something else for a little bit. Even if it's just walking out of the room to get to breathe.
Well, and I forget. It's unfortunate that I have a good partner that supports me and loves me crafting, and that gives them an opportunity to do some things. But at the same time, I have to remember, okay, just don't get so wrapped up in crafting and stuff that you do need to be able to step away and do other things too.
Yes.
See, I even have a purple Alicio. My little craft iron is purple.
Okay, I'm jelly. It's official, I'm jelly.
I do look for purple when I have the opportunity. In fact, when I went to Stitch in Heaven, believe it or not, they had their logo T-shirts. I ended up buying one, and I really debated whether or not I needed like someone, to wear someone else's and that, blah blah blah. But then they were purple, and I was like, well, I can't not buy a purple T-shirt. They're hard to find,
Right?
I don't even know if I'm gonna get all my stripes sewn before the live today. So Danielle,
Before the live today. Wait a minute, you are on the live right now, John.
No, I meant, but Mama Jam was like, well, did you put your, did you sew down your, your appliques and all that? And I was like, girlfriend, I'll be lucky if I just get the stripes done today. I'm not gonna get. And I'm not even sure if I'll
I'm
get
sitting
all.
here and I haven't even gotten one block laid out yet.
And I feel like we work, right? I mean, it's not like we're sitting here.
Oh, we definitely work. Not entirely for sure what on just quite yet, right this second. Besides, work on 15 boo-boos.
What? It's just because we're keeping it real, girlfriend.
Yes, we have to keep it real. If
So
we don't, who's going to do it?
what are your big plans for the holiday? You do anything special this afternoon?
Um, See, the guys are, and when I say the guys, I'm referring to my husband and my oldest son.
Mm-hmm.
They have to go to the other house to mow the yard because in our city, if it gets like 6 inches or above, then it and gets like all wrecky crazy and everything, and the city would come out and mow it for you and then charge you $250 on your property taxes for doing so.
No way.
Yes, and they don't give you a warning. So they just come out and do it. And it's like literally like if it gets too long, they'll come out and mow it. So with all the rain that we've had the last week and a half, we gotta get that done. And then after they get done mowing that, then they gotta come back over here and inspect the beehives to make sure our queens are doing good at laying their eggs, that the queens are still there, making sure everything's good and hunky dory, producing enough honey and bringing in enough pollen, all that good stuff. Because if not, then they got to figure out what's going on and figure out how to correct the situation. And then they got to put my car up on a set of jacks and everything, so my husband can get underneath the car to figure out where my exhaust leak is. So then I know what part I need to order so he can fix my car for me. And then probably just grilling some food later and relaxing for puppy time.
There's always puppy time.
Yes, every evening is puppy cuddles. We do puppy cuddles and watch movies in the evenings. Let's see. Brian says, what? Do you mean there are things other than crafting? No, there's not. It's an illusion. Don't fall for it, Brian. Don't do it. See, Mama Jan says, my late hubby arrived for our first date in a purple print shirt. And you know, my bedroom is all about purple and my leather furniture and living room. Oh my goodness gracious. And
Mama
Jordy
Chan
says,
does.
Danelle, have you heard? Yeah, Jordy says, Danelle, have you heard from Debbie since her last live? Yes, I've spoken with her a few times. She is doing fine, just busy with family and doctor appointments and everything else, but she is okay. I've not heard from her today, but she did watch my little update last night, so I know she's okay. And Susan says, Brian, that's what I was thinking. Laura says, I'm fortunate my husband fully supports my sewing and quilting. When he was in a work trip last week, he came home with 4 bundles of vintage fabric from an antique shop he visited. Now, see, that's a good hobby.
There you go. That's a happy woman. Goodness.
Yes. Happy wife, happy life.
So, Danielle, interesting enough, the window that sits right here that I look out and see the wall of the garage of people next door, um, I have an awning. And last year, when I bought the park home, they couldn't finish spraying and painting and cleaning because I had baby hummingbirds in the awning.
I
So,
remember you saying that on the live stream.
yep. So in the summer, they took it all down, cleaned it, ended up putting the awning back. So uh, Friday, when I got here and opened up the blinds, I apparently have 3 baby hummingbirds again. And mama comes at night and feeds them. So I
She
guess
comes
they
at nighttime because that way there is less chances of the babies getting killed by predators.
So I guess at not, or I guess they come back every year and nest where they know and what they've been used to.
They do reuse the nests. birds are common about that, and they also, especially if it's in a safe spot, they will reuse nests. May not even be the same hummingbirds, but they will come back and use that nest.
No kidding. So it was just too funny. I opened it up and there's three little baby hummingbirds. And yesterday at Home Depot, when we were looking at plants, of course, I like to have flowering stuff because I like the color. And
Well,
they had a
you
whole
need a
section.
pop of color and interest.
They had a whole section for um, butterflies and hummingbirds. I guess that plants are supposed to help attract them or something. And I was like, I wouldn't mind having that, but the problem is I'm not here enough to keep it watered and keep it living.
They do have some systems that you can try and put in there where, like, where you can put in it where it'll give it water whenever it needs it.
Because I do have that hooked up for all the shrub and that.
Hey,
So,
Katie. Katie Kratz is here.
hey, Katie, thanks for joining.
So we got that section good. So I'll go ahead and stitch up this section so at least I'm sewing something.
Brian
Right,
says he
guys.
has some butterfly bushes that the hummingbirds also seem to enjoy.
Yeah, the flowers I plant are actually ones that I look for flower plants that the honeybees love.
Yeah, see, it's so funny because being down in the valley, it's just hard to find anything like that that's going to be able to survive the heat in that. But then you come up here, it's a whole different climate in that you can have so much more.
But it's like for the ones that are in like the high humidity type of thing, they do have plants that you can get that actually like the dryness.
Yeah, I have a lot of oleanders, which flower and bush, and they stay really nice and they do well in the climate. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, oleanders are poisonous to dogs. What I really want to find is something that turns off coyotes. We have coyotes in the yard a lot,
I can't help you with that one.
and they pick on my little bunnies.
Yeah, they like that. They're looking for the lucky rabbit's foot.
Yeah, I know. I find parts of my little rabbits occasionally in the backyard.
Aww, big old meanies.
Yes.
But you need to tell Wile E. Coyote to go away. Go find a roadrunner.
Well, Laura says she plans to hand quilt. She says a few months ago he found an antique postage stamp quilt top from circa 1930s. It's all hand pieced. She plans to hand
That's
quilt it.
awesome. That is very cool.
Laura says Brian, her husband, is so sweet. He loves to go fabric shopping. We usually spend more when I'm with him.
Of course.
Mm-mm. Oh, Balloona says the oleanders are poisonous to people as well. I did not know that. I actually just put in 14 to use as a hedge. They were all across the house and in our area. I mean, almost every yard's got 5 or 6. I didn't realize that.
Oh, wow. I didn't either. So how are you doing over there, John?
I'm still working on the red. I want to be at least done with red and start working on the blue stripes, you know? Like, oh my goodness. And then I gotta go back to work tomorrow.
What did I tell you about saying that nasty word around me?
I
Well, I had to put you in a timeout if you keep it up, dear sir.
tell you, right? Mm-mm-mm. Oh my goodness. So it's 9 o'clock. We have 3 more giveaways.
Awesome.
Let's see if we can fix.
So how
Um,
long are you planning on being live for today?
1 more hour, 10 o'clock.
Awesome.
Then I got to give other people some attention. You know how they are.
So needy. I think my machine is yelling at me over here to clean her. I think after my live stream, I will be doing a good deep clean, or not my live stream, your live stream. I'll be doing a good deep cleaning of my machine because she's over here yelling at me.
See, I don't know why mine got jammed up this morning because I literally cleaned it all yesterday just to make sure that we weren't going to have problems today. And then he wanted to give me some problems first right out the bat. It's like, really, dude?
Because
Oh,
she says you're trying to make her work way too dang early. Like, dude, did you not get the memo of what time of day this is?
right. I tell you what.
Like, no.
All right. So the next giveaway is a jelly roll. It is by Moda Fabrics. It's called Simply Delightful by Sherry and Chelsea. And it is all in the spring colors.
Oh, I
So,
love that. That is
yellow
beautiful.
daisies.
Super, super cute.
So that'll be fun. So exclamation point jelly will get you entered. Doesn't say how many is on here, but I'm guessing 24. It looks like a mini one, right? Yeah, looks like
Hey,
maybe
Alex,
26.
living with a Mash is in here now.
Luna says, I think oleanders are ugly and messy. I like that they gave me a big privacy hedge. That's why I ended up putting them in. Andrea says, I just got my quilt back all starched and pressed and heated up the house, so time to cool off. Oh, she says, I think I'm going to do with the fabric strips and then cut them down to size so I can speed and sew the blocks. I think that would have been very smart. I wish I had thought about that when I was cutting this, but I just got so wrapped up in the instructions and how to cut it that I didn't even think about that. But I think there was a better way to do this.
Yeah,
I need to
it
really,
happens.
I need to pay more attention up front sometimes to what the
It
ultimate
happens. What are
goal
you gonna do?
is. Yeah, Charlotte goes, I think you could have done this pattern with jelly rolls and strip piecing. That would make for less pre-cutting. I fully agree. I will tell you, I felt like I just cut all day, and I used my AccuQuilt, and I still felt like I was never going to get all this stuff cut. Oh, Barb says she just finished piecing 2 more blocks for her quilts of valor, and she is going outside to enjoy the sunshine. Thanks for being here,
Go
Barb.
have fun. Take us with you.
Oh, Living and Crafting with MS is here. She just joined.
Yep.
All right, let's go over.
Her name is Alex.
Alex, I couldn't remember. All right, let's go over and see who's going to win the jelly roll.
Drum roll. Oh, that's a very horrible drum roll, by the way.
Joydy!
Yay, Joydy!
How
Okay,
awesome is
email right
that?
here. His email address right here. Grab it.
Oh. See, if you all can't tell, Danielle's like the sister that I always wanted. We always have fun together. It's always crazy when we're together.
Yes. You never know what we're going to get up to. And you know we're always going to talk about gnomes. Somewhere along the lines, gnomes will come up.
It does, doesn't it?
Because that's just how me and John roll.
I do love my gnomes. Have you done a gnome quilt?
I have not. I have patterns for it, but I've not gotten to that yet. I've been too busy squirreling on everything else.
I've done panels.
I've done my FTP gnome block.
I want to do those. I bought those. Somebody in Michigan told me to buy those. I bought them
Who
all.
that crazy girl is.
And she had a whole Halloween collection.
Yeah. I didn't even do all the Halloween ones. That's just the ones I did.
Hey, Miss Kathy, thanks for being here this morning. There's Russ.
Hey, Ross, you are late, dear sir. So I hope everyone's having a snazzy day.
I think Mr. Russ got back late from to Atlanta last night, so I'd say the animals have kept him. His children have kept him busy this morning.
Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna go do a potty break really quick, and I'll be right back. Plus, I gotta give the puppies some lunch.
Nope, no problem. So I would agree. I do like this pattern, but I think there is a lot of easier ways to have done this to achieve the same result. So I would not follow the directions for this pattern again. But I do like the way it turns out in that. I'm anxious to get it done, but I have a feeling this is going to be a whip for me for a while because I'll just get bored with it. And then I am doing the machine applique for the stars. So Mama Jan cheated and did hers in the hoop, which I probably could still do. I had planned to get all my squares made before I worried about that. And as you can see how this morning's going, I am not going to get those done. So I won't be anywhere near a square anytime soon. So we'll probably get to see Mama Jan's finished product long before mine gets there. It is not a contest. I still want to get the purple one done. I've got to finish that one this afternoon. I hope, but I don't want to just be sitting at the sewing machine all day. I could tell you my neck definitely feels that when I do. And I haven't had breakfast or lunch, so I'm definitely going to be ready for lunch after this is ready. Miss Kathy says late, but now here. There's Russ. Luna says she somehow fixed the voting. Oh, Andrea says, I believe you did a love gnome quilt. How soon they forget. We'll have to ask her when she gets back. I'm just surprised as much as she likes gnomes that she had not done one. That's what kind of threw me too. Oh, Robin says I did a Valentine rag quilt this year. I have watched rag quilts on YouTube. I have yet to do one. So I'm sure that'll be coming in at some point. Oh, Katie Craft says, I've been cutting the fabric for the 100-acre wood quilt. Have months 6, 7, and 8 cut now to get sewing all those tiny pieces. Yeah, I've been watching Art East. I mean, they've got some really cool stuff that I would like to do, but I have just not convinced myself to go there yet, but I am sure I will at some point. I bet Percy's been yelling at you and probably had some words for you prior to you finally getting home. And poor Riley, I bet she's having fun though at doggy daycare, but I am sure she's ready to be home as well. Brian goes, you can always finish at Veterans Day. I'm still trying to finish Veterans Day quilt too, and I need to call the. I really want to call our veterans home because we do have 3 state-run veterans home. One of them is in Tucson, and I really would like to donate some lap quilts and things to them, to our veterans, because I don't think we can do enough for the men and women who have served us, and I really would like, especially those that end up in a lot of these state-run facilities, these state-run veterans homes. Um, a lot of them end up there because they don't have a lot of family and things like that. So I definitely want to put some donations together. I'm sure I have some friends that are willing to add to the pile, but I need to reach out to them. I have yet to call them to find out what are the requirements. But I do have a nice little stockpile that I can work on to get things started. Problem is, again, I just have to get most of them long armed and put the binding on. We'll get it done. We always seem to get it done. That is why I do enjoy coming up here. I don't feel guilty just sitting here all day. Where other house, I always feel like I've got other things to do. I've got people to check on. I've got entertaining to do. Then I got to clean the house too because I let my housekeeper go. It's like, if I save that money, I could actually spend more on fabric. Oh, Andrea said she tested my love gnome pattern for me. So yes, she gets back on. We will give her a little grief about that. Look, Jody goes, I remember too. Maybe it was a wall hanging. Oh, maybe that is how she used it. Oh, Andrea goes, you could chain piece and that would speed up the process. Yes, I have to eventually get to chain piecing. I have yet to do that. Um, I don't know why. And especially the Juki, I know would appreciate chain piecing much more probably that I use the cutting blades a little less. But I have never chain pieced. I'm not sure why. I think again it's probably because I'm so anal that I want to make sure that that everything is pressed and put together just right. I mean, I am so bad anymore that I've got my t-shirt heat press machine that a lot of times I'll throw these strips like this in there to make sure that they're pressed all perfectly flat and that it just
I'm back.
oh, there she is. Oh, you're in trouble, girl.
Oh, what did I do?
Andrea said that you tested a gnome quilt pattern for her and that you have done a gnome quilt.
That's right. I completely forgot about that because iTunes actually sent that gnome quilt when I got done with it. I sent it to Martha, Debbie within Quiltback's daughter. That's
Oh, no
right.
kidding.
Let me find a picture so I can show it off. Thank you, Andrea. I completely forgot about that.
So what you meant to say is you haven't done one for yourself yet.
That is correct. That is what I actually meant. It's
Listen, I did last year. I made the University of Louisville quilt for my niece for Christmas. I made her boyfriend husband a Marines quilt because he was in the Marines. And then I thought, you know what? I want a Virginia Tech Hokie quilt for me. So I made that. I did finally the other day trim it because it is quilted. I did get it quilted. Um, so I finally trimmed it the other day. So, and I've got the binding cut and pieced together. I just need to iron it out in half and then, put it on the thing. Oh, I
Hey,
love
John.
that. I love that. And that is so you, girl. Love gnomes.
Yep. Super cute, very pixelated. I completely forgot about that one that I did.
It's just because you're knocking so many projects out, Danielle, you can't even keep up anymore.
I can't. Not gonna lie, I can't. I cannot tell a lie.
Wow.
At least not knowingly. See, now this is why I keep Andrea and all my other subscribers around and everything, because that way there they could keep me on track.
You what it does, that is the fun thing. I talk about at times how much I love my YouTube family and how special they are, and how fortunate we are, right, to have the friends and the groups that we do. And but just like family, they do keep us very honest, don't they?
And I'm glad because it's so easy to forget whenever you turn have like, okay, that project is done, out the door, out of mind, out of sight type of thing.
Oh.
And I knew how much Martha loved gnomes, so I sent it to her. I'm like, here you go. So she actually has it hanging up in her closet, in her at her desk at work.
Oh, no kidding.
Yup.
Do you keep a catalog of all the quilts and projects that you do?
Yeah, I keep it all in my Facebook, or not my Facebook, but my YouTube or
Mhm.
Google Photos. Yeah, that's what it is. Keep it all in my Google Photos. And so what I do is I take a picture of everything I do and I save all my pictures to Google Photos. And that way there, I have that to look back on. And then my thing is, I started this past Christmas is I do 31 days of Christmas or 31 quilts of Christmas. So every day I showcase during the month of December a different quilt that I did and give the background story of it, as well as the fabrics I used or whatever that I can, essentially all information I can remember. So I got a video catalog of everything I've done.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I started that this past Christmas and I really like it and everything. So
I've done the unboxing videos basically every day for the last couple of years. I ended up cheating this year. I I've done several different ones. Um, and some of them have gotten so expensive. It's like, yeah, I just can't do that anymore. So I did do Missouri Star Quilt yet again. I do like Jenny's box overall, and she's given us the the three coffee cups and the three melamine plates with their logo in that. So
yes.
everyone's working under the assumption that we'll get the fourth one this year. So I was like, okay, well, I have to have the fourth one. I can't stop this year, but I probably will after this year. But
Uh-huh.
I ended up,
Sure.
but I did stop the other ones because they just got so expensive, and I just found that I really wasn't.
John,
I
you
won't
know we're
say.
not going to this whole nonsense thing you're trying to feed us, right?
I really
You
am
know
trying
we
to.
love you and we're only going to be truthful and honest with you, but we're not buying it, okay?
But I really am trying to cut back.
I understand you're trying to cut back, but we're not buying the fact that you're not going to be doing that anymore.
And Jenny's not even here. She's out doing missionary work, I think, in Africa.
She is doing missionary work. I don't remember where, but probably Africa.
I think it was Africa. I know they've posted a few things, but not a lot actually. So how nice for her. Good for them, right? I mean, that they're able to give
Yes.
back that way. I think they went for like 2 years.
I love that fact. The fact that they're doing that.
You know,
That's like really cool.
takes a special person and a special heart to do something like that, really. Uh,
Yes.
I am a little too spoiled. That probably just wouldn't fit into my plans.
Yes. Me and mosquitoes don't get along, so that wouldn't work out for me.
Yeah, I just no. I am. I
I mean,
remember.
the only reason why we don't get along is because they like my blood and I like keeping it.
It's because
So
you're
I will
so
tell
sweet.
you to share my blood.
You're just that sweet.
I must be because they love it. Let's see. Which one do I want to do over here?
Mm. Make a piece, red and blue, 2 strips. Make 24 each, red, white. Lord have mercy. I'm not at 24 yet. See how close we are.
Oh no.
What you do?
I didn't coordinate these properly. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull out that jelly roll. I'm not unripping all this. Not happening. That's okay, because I was planning on pulling out the jelly roll anyway.
So see, you already accepted that and dealt with that, right?
If you say so.
Just glad you decided to do a lap quilt that would be so much faster and quicker.
Well, it'd be a lot easier if I had a much more space for a design wall.
Yeah, so it's funny. I just bought a big felt thing that I found the other day. It's supposed to be this really cool design wall. And so my partner says, "Where are we? So where do you want me to put that?" I'm like, "So where in the house is there a blank wall?" And they're like, "Well, there is no blank walls in this." Like everything. Yeah, I'm like, "Yeah, I know. The problem is I bought the design wall, but I don't know where I can put it."
Yeah, John, this white right here that I used for my wall behind me,
Yep.
this was a design wall I bought to go on this wall right here. And then I agreed to have the birds in here. So I lost my design wall.
I'm fortunate because Quilt Club has several big, huge design walls. So I can run down to the Quilt Club. It's usually open Saturday mornings. The problem is, I don't know if you realize I can be a little social at times. So to run down
No
and just,
way.
so I can't just like
Not
run,
John.
I can't just like run in, throw it up, do what I need and run out. It's like,
Not John. John would never be social. Never
so.
in a million and 1,000 years. Nope. I don't buy it.
All right. I know I missed some chat because Brian made a comment that I was started to read and then I missed it. Brian says I was chain piecing and didn't realize that my bobbin tension was off. It wouldn't have been as bad if I had done them one at a time. See, there's an argument for why you don't want to chain piece. I don't think that's probably
Right?
necessarily the way he meant that.
See if I can't save this without unstitching. So this is why you don't just randomly grab pieces that are like this and stitch it to just any random piece that's like this. So, and then go, okay, well, I'll figure this all out as I put it together. Let's just do something spur of the moment, wild and crazy. That's why you don't do this. I guess you need to get yourself in a pickle like this. Sit
Oh
here
my
scratching
goodness.
your head, go, oh, goodness gracious.
Brian says he does now check the underside as he's chain piecing just to make sure there's no issue. Charlotte says, John, that's a very expensive set of mugs. I do agree. Oh, Melissa said that they're in Timu, Africa. That's
Oh, okay.
Katrina says, you won't be doing Open Gates Christmas box this year. Sigh. I'm going to miss that one. I am too. I mean, I really did enjoy Open Gate. I did. They do put some beautiful things together, but I'll be honest, just budget wise, their box has gotten so expensive that I just chose not to. We'll see. I mean, um, they'll send me an email, I'm sure, in October. But I just
Oh,
don't
here you go,
plan.
squirreling.
Laura says, I hate mosquitoes and they love me. I got spinal meningitis in 2000 from a mosquito bite and spent 2 months in the hospital.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
How crazy is that? I did not realize you could get spinal meningitis from.
Brian says I enjoyed too much wine, so the last mosquito that bit me had to check into Betty Ford. Oh, Brian, you're a kick. Melissa says acceptance is the first step. Hey, Melanie. Melanie Taylor is here.
Melanie, thanks for being here.
Melanie says, hi, John. I got that right this time, right? Ha ha ha. My
she
hubs is a John. Should pay attention. How are you y'all today? I am
Melanie,
troubleshooting.
Melanie's a sweetheart. She called me Russ yesterday. I said, that's okay. I would accept that. He's a good guy. So I am good with that. Or Sean. I can't remember which one, but I like both the guys, right? So
She called you Sean.
all
I
good.
thought it was very funny.
That's a busy man with all them kids. He's had a lot going on. All right. Do
Okay,
you
so
real?
what we're gonna do is we're just gonna unpick and fix this manually.
I have to figure
Today is just
out.
gonna be an unpicking kind of day. That's just how it is. I'm accepting this.
But at
There are
least
just gonna be pieces that we're just gonna unpick.
right. But at least we're home where we can relax and we don't have to rush today, and we're not tired.
Say a lot of bad words, so coworkers don't have to hear it.
Yeah, because YouTube won't let us say them on the air. That's why. See, I just call mine a seam ripper because what other words I use for it I can't use on YouTube.
That is correct. Okay, let's see. Unpick this.
Oh,
I have one of those that I can hook it up to.
all right, Danielle. Time for another giveaway.
Woohoo!
Look at that. This
We
one
like them
is
giveaways.
we do. This one is Forget Me Not Fat Quarters. Not fat quarters. It's fat 8 bundles. But it is called Forget Me Not. And so the spring flowers in that, and all these spring flowers.
Ooh. You were on a big flower kick, weren't you?
I was. Well, and then when I was picking stuff out, I thought, well, it's spring, summer, so I really should try to stay with the theme a little bit, right? So if you
Yes.
put exclamation point fat, exclamation point fat. So these are fat eighths, not fat quarters, just so you know. Charlotte says, "Do you have to drive back to your other house today?" No, it's actually closer for me to go directly to work in the morning from here. So I will actually get up and go there and then let them charge my car back, and then I'll go back home tomorrow night. So,
Awesome.
and then I don't fight the holiday traffic. My partner will be going back
Right?
down the mountain tonight. So he got
Holiday
stuff
traffic is like the worst.
right. We have friends that have a house up in Sholo, which is about an hour and a half from here, hour and 40 minutes. So we were supposed to go see them um, Saturday morning. We made it an hour into the drive up the mountain, and there was a huge bad wreck. And all we knew was it wasn't going to be good. And we ended up having to turn around and come back. So we never got up the mountain because there's only one road to get to them from here. And I never could find it on the news, but at some point they were talking about they had helicopters, so they airlifted some folks and all that kind of craziness. So it
Did you
ended up.
check on your to make sure it wasn't them?
Do what?
Did you check on your friend to make sure it wasn't them?
Yes, yeah. We were texting them because they were already there. They had gotten there. They're retired, so they'd been there like a week.
I say at least it wasn't your friends. So
No. They were like, that's why we come up, before you working people during, for the holiday. And yeah, I understand. I plan to be one of those folks one day. But I've got about 8 more years. We'll see. All right, let's see who wins the Fat 8. 1 second. Let's see if we get Nightbot working. Choose a winner. Brian!
Yay! Congratulations, Brian.
Congratulations, Mr. Brian. Thanks for being on with us today.
Yes.
Danielle, are you still using Nightbot?
Yes, I am.
Okay, because I know Sean had trouble, and I think he ended up switching out, and I think Russ switched to something else. But I just haven't
Never
had
had
the
any
troubles
problems
they
with
were.
it.
Do what?
I've never had any problems with it.
I haven't either, and I know Sean was frustrated with it there for a while, and so was I think Russ finally got fed up with it, and I was like, but I just didn't. I haven't had the issues, so I finally have
Hopefully
some.
that little devil. Hopefully those little gremlins stay away from my channel. So
Yeah, me too. I've sewn all the red and whites together, so now I can start on the blue and white.
I'm still working on one block. So far I've gotten this far.
Oh, see, I love the fabrics that you picked, though.
I just chose a Patreon. I just put into what you call it, Amazon for a patriotic jelly roll, and this is what I came up with. So I'm like, okay.
So, do you order quite a bit of fabrics in that from Amazon?
I do a lot of ordering from Amazon of my fabrics and all. I like it. To me, Amazon is a good place to shop. So
I do a lot of shopping at Amazon. I won't knock Amazon because I do like it. Um, for fabrics, I shop everywhere, right? Because I have 5 local quilt stores. I mean, so that makes
yes.
it. And then I've been buying some wholesale fabrics. I just bought 18 bolts of fabric. It's supposed to be here in the next couple of weeks. So we'll probably do an unboxing for that.
Yay! Unboxings are fun.
You do have to admit, there's not as many unboxing videos as there used to be with John.
No. But I mean, that's okay because, I mean, how many unboxings can you really actually do?
Right?
I like the shop thingies. You know what the word I'm trying to think of is.
No, the shop hops, is that what?
The shopping hauls.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, especially like when you used to get the coupons and all that from Joann's and some of them. I mean, those were crazy.
Oh, Joann's. I miss my Joann's already.
Well, I tell you, the last time because I buy my batting by the roll because it's easier and cheaper. And the last time I went to buy it from Joann's, I could actually buy the same exact batting cheaper from Walmart than I could Joann's.
I believe it.
So I always check Walmart. I always check Amazon. Like all of them because you have to. I mean,
You got to
this is.
shop around to get the best deal because it's just things cost way too much money to be spending full price.
Yep. And I mean, it's my money, unfortunately, right? It's not. No one's sending John money to say, "Here, let me help you out a little bit."
Right?
Of course, Joydy goes,
Maybe
we've
maybe
seen
the sandstone, we're not gonna turn a blind eye and tell you no.
but I like when Joydy goes, yeah, I see the shelves behind you and how much is on those shelves.
Oh, yeah, I had so much fabric I don't know what to do with at the time. I'm like, okay. I'll start going through them and organizing, starting off, and then I get squirreling whenever I happen to find something I forgot I had. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
I've got
Victoria is getting a workout today.
I've got three um, I've got three big dresser drawers full of Tula Pink, and I have yet to cut the first piece.
Oh, Tula Pink is so pretty. Did you
Oh,
happen to pre-order her new line?
well, of course I did.
I did too.
Oh,
The
no
Grable.
way. Yes.
It is the first Tula fabric I have ever fallen in love with. Was like, oh my gosh. Like I love her fabrics, but I'm like, it's so busy. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. But this is the first one I've ever actually bought.
And that's actually a throwback because apparently she did a gray line like 25 at 25 lines ago. And so it's not, it's all new. I mean, because she did go out and resketch it and do, improved it. But
Yeah, it's more
I don't,
the black and gray scale of it and using the color to highlight,
right?
which is what I love. It's not so bright and bold and all up in your grill. I like it where it's like she pulled the colors back some and used that to highlight certain areas of each fabric. So I actually pre-ordered the half yard bundle of each fabric.
Just jumped in your
I'm
box.
like, no, I'm like, bad to know.
Mm-mm. Look, I want people to see. I've switched from red to blue now, and now I'm doing blue. Uh,
So you having any better luck with the blue?
I did not mess the first two up, so I finally got a rhythm going. All right, let's see. Oh, Charlotte must have had to drop. Bye, Charlotte.
Bye, Charlotte.
Jordy says 18 bolts. Yes, I bought 18 bolts of fabric. Some of it will be going on the Etsy store. I'm planning to build out some kits, and I'm planning to use a lot of that for some of the retreats and that I've got coming up.
Etsy store?
Yes, we're trying to get our Etsy store back online. So hopefully in the next month, we'll have that back up and functioning.
Awesome.
Joydy says, I'm very nosy. I've never thought of Joydy as nosy, but I have thought of her as very observant.
Not nosy, inquisitive.
Laura said, I'd have to buy another house to store that much. Oh, I did buy new bookshelves. Oh, Melissa says Sketchbook was her first grayscale line for Tula. I remember seeing an
Oh,
interview that
awesome.
she did. Brian says he thinks Tula's fabrics look nicer on smaller projects. I will tell you, Ian just did a Tula tote bag or piece that I really liked. And of course, Adam always uses Tula. He uses Tula for everything, I think. And he does some beautiful totes and that.
He's even done some shirts out of Tula.
Oh, he did. He made the Minky Tula sweatshirts for him and his husband. I was like, he just kills me. Like, and then he was complaining because he had to make his shirt larger because apparently poor little Adam is no longer an extra small. He had to make a small.
You know. I'm sorry, Adam, if you're watching, I love you, dude, but I do not sympathize with you on this. That's all I gotta say.
Sometimes
But
when
I
you
do
just go,
love you, Adam, because you're a genius.
you sometimes just go, Adam, that's just too much. Just stop sharing too much.
I'm like, oh, poor Adam.
Oh, Melissa says she
How
still
could?
has one piece from it, from the sketchbook.
Oh wow. I'm like, I don't think I was ever a size small.
I don't even think in middle school or elementary school I was a small.
No.
Jordy says she's going to break in with Brian and Sally at my house next time I'm away. She doesn't realize I have a perfect inventory. I know where everything is. It drives people nuts. They're like, "Where's that?" And I'm like, "It's in the second drawer on the left-hand side." Blah blah. Like I know where all my stuff is. It's crazy.
Yeah, but see, if you can't find it, then you would just think that you just misplaced it.
Judy
You'd
says
be like,
her
you know, I must
favorite.
have moved that or something.
Judy says her favorite fabric is Tim Holtz.
Oh, awesome. And Melissa also likes Tim Holtz, I believe. It's Melissa, Michelle, and Mike from New York Beauty. They all like Tim Holtz.
Oh, no kidding.
I
How about
haven't got
that?
into the Tim Holtz thing yet.
I'll have to go take a look. I don't know, but I know.
Ryan says he can use small shirts for sleeves.
Oh no, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, Brian. I love it.
Mm-mm. So the next holiday quilting bee will be July 4th. We have to figure out where John's going to be around that time.
I love your holiday quilting bees.
Thank you. And I appreciate you jumping on.
I appreciate the fact that you sent me the link finally. You know
But
I gotta share
Danielle,
her.
see, Danielle's such a good friend. She's like, listen, let me just jump on with you. We'll have a good time. We always do.
Yes. It's always fun when we get together. You never know what we're gonna get into.
Yes, I can't wait for Halloween. That's going to be fun. We're going to really put up. But I can't do like 30 costumes like you do. You had a different costume on, I think, every time you went on air.
We will just coordinate. We will figure out upon a theme, and we will coordinate a costume based upon that theme. That's what we're gonna do. That way, there you
Um,
only got to do one. Then I'll take it easy on you, John.
Somebody has
I'll
to.
say I'll take my wild craziness for actually October.
Jordy goes, I feel bad for Adam. Here, Adam, take these donuts.
Oh, Jordy.
Oh, Brian says, Jordy, write that down. Right side drawer, second drawer. Melissa says, don't get me started on Tim. I'll have to look. I'll have to look up some of his lines again. Jordy goes, we'll have to rent a couple of U-Hauls or rent a U-Haul, or we'd have to make multiple runs. I tell you, the sad thing is, so like I've got one neighbor that likes to get my boxes, and they love to go through to see what I've been ordering in that. So some of the stuff, my partner actually takes the boxes to work. So then they don't always see, like if an AccuQuilt comes in or some of the fabrics and that. We don't even, can't even throw those away at the house. I just take them somewhere else. So I just
You
that's that.
serious? They go through your boxes?
Yeah, it's the excuses. Well, I just needed a box. We know John always has multiple boxes set out, which is true. I mean, I can't say anything, but it's just like, but it's fine that you stop and get a box, but then you want to ask me what was in the box. And yeah, it's like, no, it's just a little invasive to me.
Yeah. It's like rude.
Mm. All right, so let's do the last giveaway. So I bought this because I fell in love with it. And then when I was going through some things, I thought, you know what? You're never going to get to this. Just give this away. It'll find a good home today. So this is actually a Villa Rosa kit that I bought probably a year ago now, maybe 6 months ago. But I'm trying to make sure I got the commands set up. Um, yes, I do. All right.
Yeah, it is, Brian. Opening someone's mail is a felony.
So this is the Optic pattern by Villa Rosa. And so it's a really cool pattern. I bought the kit though because I kind of fell in love with the fabrics. So you'll get the pattern. It comes with this green, which is kind of cool.
Ooh.
And then it comes with the darker green to go
Oh
with it.
my gosh, I'm in love with that one.
And then it's got this blue as an offset. But what I fell in love with were these crazy flowers. How cool is that? So when you put all of this together, it's really going to make a pretty
Oh, that
quilt.
is going to be outstandingly gorgeous. And someone better jump in on this because if not, I'm going to.
So it's exclamation point kit. And if you'll put that in, that'll be our final giveaway for today. Optic is the pattern by Villa Rosa. So I think it is going to be a cool kit.
That is going to be absolutely gorgeous.
So Danielle and I would like, if you win the kit and when you get it done, it would be really cool to see a picture of what it looks like finished.
Yes, please. You got to show us because we love seeing what you guys make.
We do. Because it was nice that Mama Jan sent me the pictures of, she got the first block done and got her star blocks done for this project. It's because you just don't get to see all of that, so it's fun to see what others are doing and how they're, and just the fact that she didn't pick a plain white background like I did. I went with the stars and the red and the blue. So, it just makes it more fun when you're able to see
I
the
love
different
seeing all
things.
the different types of colorways that can come out of something. And the quilts always look so differently whenever they're done in different colorways because it comes out looking like a completely different quilt.
And how crazy is that, right?
Right?
Mm-hmm. All right, one more minute, exclamation point kit, and we will give that away. All right, let's see for the final giveaway what Nightbot is going to do for us. And the winner is well, on Nightbot. Jean E is the winner.
Yay!
So congratulations, Jean E. Again, just send me an email, tell me you won the kit or whatever item you won today, Send me your address. These will not go out probably till midweek, may even be the weekend, but we will get, once I get back down to the valley and get situated, we will get that out in the mail. And again,
Congratulations to anybody and everybody that won.
so Danielle, I have 18 days and I will be at the beach again.
I'm so jelly.
I tell you what, I am just so ready just to have the downtime. And it's nice because like if I'm at home, I want to be crafting, I want to be sewing, I enjoy it, but it's fun to go to the beach because even my partner goes like, so like, would we be able to relax? Like, are we just going to have downtime? And I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, like we do on the weekends. And he's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. What you consider downtime is not downtime. So no, I'm talking about real downtime. And I was like, yes, we will have real downtime.
You gotta get. You just got to get him into the same rhythm of having the same passion as you, so that way he can enjoy your downtime as well. Then.
Well, I can't complain. He runs. We have we bought a laser cutter, laser engraver, so he is running that and making some custom templates and that for me now. And then he has a couple of 3D printers, and he knows how to run the 10-needle embroidery machine. So
Okay, so for the laser cutter, what machine does he have, or do you guys have?
We have the X Tool S1, I think.
Okay, I'll say because my husband and son are wanting to get one and everything at some point, and I'm like, that could be a good gift.
X Tool is what we ended up with, and we've been very happy with it. We still have a lot to do. I mean, I just bought him tumblers and that because I want him to engrave the Guys Craft 2 logo on some tumblers and that because I'd like to give those as giveaways. And
yes.
So some of that stuff. So we're still trying to get it all figured out. Melanie says, "What a great giveaway! Thank you, Melanie." And she says, "What Nightbot mad about?" I don't know. I pushed giveaway once and it didn't go, so maybe it's just because it didn't recognize I jumped back on that screen. Judy says, "Does your partner sew?" No, he does not like to sew, but he will do the 10-needle embroidery. I do want him to learn to run the long arm because I think that would help me get caught up, but we'll see. Mama Jan says she's going to come learn to run the long arm, so that would be fun. Andrea says, "Be blessed, less stressed, and pet some fabric today. It has been awesome spending the last few hours with you all." Brian says, "As always, thanks for the fun and hanging out." Jeannie says, I think I used too many exclamation button smiles." All good. So, guys, thanks for being here. Danielle, thanks so much for jumping on. She is such a sweetheart. See, that's my little sister. I just love Danielle. So I hope you all have an amazing day. Remember all the good things that our veterans and those folks, what Memorial Day is really about, the men and women who have served for us. It's so important that we really just take the time to recognize what has happened. So, as always, guys, until next time, happy crafting.
Bye, guys.